The FBI director and NSA director Admiral Michael Rogers are scheduled to testify, as we mentioned, before the Senate Intelligence Committee.
This will be the first time Comey speaks publicly since he was fired as FBI director. Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders says the president will not stop Comey from testifying.
The president's power to exert executive privilege is very well established. However, in order to facilitate a swift and thorough examination of the facts sought by the Senate Intelligence Committee, President Trump will not assert executive privilege regarding James Comey's scheduled testimony.
Now, former Director Comey is expected to discuss whether President Trump pressured him to shut down the Russia investigation.
In the meantime, former federal prosecutor Michael Wilds joins us via Skype to weigh in on this one. And we should also mention in the past, Michael has represented the Trump Corporation and First Lady Melania Trump's immigration issues. But now you look at this travel ban and you say this is the wrong way to go.
The travel ban, in my opinion, is a wrong message. I think the president is not a bigot and is not prejudiced, but is trying to make America safe. But how do you justify discriminating on a national origin basis against 7 nations when you have 11 million people in the United States in the backyard without any kind of credible immigration plan? So I think that it was well intended but ill-conceived and unconstitutional.
All right, let's switch over now and talk a little bit more about what everybody is talking about on Thursday, the much-anticipated testimony of former FBI Director Mr. Comey there. Let me ask you, he was very guarded when we heard him speak before. There were certain things he could say or could not say. When we see him testify on Thursday, do you expect him to open up and share more?
This is not a lovey-dovey kind of leader. The gentleman served under 2 presidents as FBI director and served under 3 separate presidents as a federal prosecutor. He will be thoughtful and deliberate. He is well-oiled, and he will answer the questions put to him. In my opinion, he's beyond reproach, and I think that the president is handling this well by not invoking executive privilege, by allowing the process to go. This is going to be a big yawn, in my opinion, in the end. If Flynn stepped out of line and did things on his own, unbeknownst to the administration and to the president, then the president will be vindicated. If the president now involves himself or disrupts a process, it's kind of like the old cartoons where a torch was lit. You have to kind of let it go and explode. And I think that the president, as trigger happy as he is on his tweets, understands this, is not going to invoke executive privilege. I think Mr. Comey is not going to take the Fifth Amendment. I think in the end, he's going to talk about what happened, his work product, the privilege of having that job and speaking directly to the president and then coining exactly what happened in that exchange. And let's cut down to the simple chase. This president was elected not because he's a politician, not because he's politically correct. He doesn't pull his punches. And it could very well be that it was not anything criminal or inappropriate for the president to actually ask the director of the FBI either to stave off the investigation for a period of time or in a certain direction.
So when people say that that's obstruction of justice, you're saying it's not as cut and dry. It's just saying by weighing in, by asking that question, that's it.
The President of the United States is in charge of the Justice Department and the Attorney General. The FBI then accounts to them. What's the point of being President of the United States if you can't tell the Director of the FBI to do something or not to do something? Now, I understand it looks poor and in poor taste if somebody in his administration may have untoward or unclean hands. But we don't know that the president played any role in that or had any knowledge.
All right, so certainly we will be hearing the testimony from FBI Director James Comey on Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Michael Wilds. We appreciate your thoughts on this topic.
Good perspective, too.